Next section is the grand entrance. I actually have a video on our website of how to have like a rager of a grand entrance.
Okay.
Can be one example, shoreandwave.com. It's on the bottom of the page. But basically, if you want to have a rager, I think having a DJ/MC or DJ and an MC will set the bar. Someone that can help elevate the energy of the people right before it happens. I think your bridal party plays a huge part in that. If your bridal party just walks in, just says peace and goes to their spot, people are only clapping like this. But if your bridal party is really bringing the energy, they're doing something stupid and funny and fun, like everybody else is getting excited.
Yeah.
It's just building up the energy.
It's going to hype the energy.
Yeah, it's just hyping up the energy. So I think if you have a really good, exciting bridal party, a really good DJ and a good MC that knows when to drop certain songs at a certain time.
Yeah.
That's also something couples don't think about. If you want, let's see, what's a song that starts out, think of any song that starts out slow and it builds up and it has a really good drop.
Yeah.
You need to tell the DJ, I want the grand entrance to this song, but at this particular time.
Yeah.
Because then everybody knows exactly, oh, we're at the chorus already.
Yeah.
Everybody's singing, everybody's having a blast, everyone's having a good time. So DJ, MC, bridal party,
and
for
that's
sure.
if you want a hype grand entrance.
Exactly.
Some
if you
people-
don't want that,
yeah. You also
Take it
know,
away.
I have a lot of clients that are like, ugh, like that's really cringy to them, or they
100%,
don't love that vibe. But what I will say is I still encourage them to do, I call it like a not so grand entrance, or, something where even if it's just the two of you and the DJ or whatever, kind of just welcome back our newlyweds. Like that's all you have to say, but you kind of have like a moment where you walk into the space. Even if you've already been at cocktail hour, because people ask me that a lot too. Like we're joining cocktail hour. Like, is it weird to do a grand entrance into the reception? I don't know. I really like it. I feel like it's a nice kind of like organic transition into this next part of the night. I think it's a really good photo op, and I think people like it. Like they are there to see you and celebrate you. They want to have an opportunity to like give you guys another round of applause. Like it's special for them too.
Yeah,
so,
and they don't see you very often.
And they don't see you very often. No, it's true. Like what a cool all of those moments you might think maybe, oh, this feels cheesy or we don't want to do this. Like,
but like the people are excited for it.
This is what they came for. They do. They came.
They came for the show. They came for you.
Exactly. So even if it's not so grand, whether you want the hypest entrance ever, I do think it's a nice moment to include in the timeline, and it would be a nice photo op later.
100%. I think depending on the venue too, like and just the layout in general, some venues, the seating is away from where the grand entrance is. And then sometimes the grand entrance is exactly where the seating is. Or sometimes it's like
grand
split in
entrance
half.
that goes right into your first dance, or there's lots of different ways to sort of do it.
Exactly. So I think understanding the venue and maybe looking at examples from the venue's like gallery of what does a grand entrance look like can also set your expectations of what your photos will probably look like because the venue doesn't change, just the couple. You know what I'm saying? So I think looking at photos or video moments specifically from that venue will help set your expectations on what is this actually going to look like and what can this feel like. So
I like
it.
It's
Sound good?
Yep.
Let's see. What's the next one? Formal dances. Oh yeah. Okay. So for formal dances, my take is,
and when we say formal dances, we're talking about first dance, father, daughter, mother, son,
whoever it is.
Even a money dance, a hora, anything that is like, when we say formal, we just mean like structured, traditional,
Thank
cultural.
you for clarifying. Yes.
So I just think there's so much wedding lingo that we throw around that people just don't have, But
if you want more wedding lingo, you can go to Pop the Champagne's Instagram and TikTok, because Ali is
I've been trying to break it down.
Yeah, you've been breaking it down. I love it. I love it. But yeah, so for formal dances, I would encourage give it anywhere between like a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Even if you don't like dancing, just chat and have a good little conversation, or don't say anything. Just enjoy the moment of whoever it is you're dancing with, whether if it's a parent, a grandparent, your spouse, whoever it is, like enjoy the moment. Just have fun.
90 seconds to 2 minutes is like the sweet spot though, because if you're up there, unless you're doing like a choreographed thing or whatever, but if you're up there for like 4.5 minutes just swaying with your mom, like it's gonna be a long time. Not just for you, but for everybody.
Unless that's just what you want. Well, like if you're chilling and you're having, because I've had those where like I'm just standing recording,
You're
and
in
I'm
the
like,
moment.
I was like, I got what I need, but I'm just gonna
Yeah,
sit here
of
and
course.
record because this is special. This moment will never happen again. So, I do think if you go shorter, the cons of going shorter is your photo video team might be missing out.
Yeah, give them. Yeah, that's it. It has to be at least 90 seconds, 2 minutes
Yeah.
to give them the
Well,
chance to get those shots.
Yeah, because we need to move around.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you don't want to have one photo and one angle, at least, perspective of your grand entrance of any of these formal dances. You're going to want a variety of different angles and different moments, especially if you're dancing. You're swaying, and sometimes you move around, and sometimes we got to like play the photo video team. We have to kind of dance with you and kind of move around to like, oh, you're swaying to the right. Okay, I need to go to the left because that's how I'll be able to get your reaction and the other person's reaction if we keep this dance
circling
going
around.
and we keep getting the circle. Or like if guest interaction is super important for you, or guest reactions are super important for you, that would be another thing for the ceremony, at least, is you're going to need to hire a second photographer and videographer.
Yeah.
Because the lead is typically going to make sure that they're capturing you.
Right.
Their whole focus, my whole focus is you two.
Right.
Love dad, love mom, love grandparents. I could care less when your vows are talking. I want to record just you.
Right.
I don't want to turn the camera away from you while you're saying your vows
you would
to
never.
get a little reaction.
Yeah.
And I've had to do that because couple only wants to hire one videographer or one photographer, and I have to take the moment to get the reaction because you asked for it.
Right.
Now, I personally think I would rather just have one nice standing clip that's close of just you two. So
but that's another good thing that because I love the reaction shots. Like I'm thinking about ceremony.
Yeah, they're great.
They're
so
that.
great.
But if you only have one shooter, they're not gonna get those.
Or it's going to be really hard, and it's going to affect, like, I don't know, the raw footage. At least for me, when I give out the raw footage of the raw wedding videos, like, I would want to see one standing clip of just me and Stephanie giving our vows, right?
For sure, yeah.
Like, sure, I care about my dad crying, but like, I could care less about him. The moment is here, you know? That's my moment.
But that's great. Yeah, that's another really good reason to hire a second shooter.
100%.
Typically, which we recommend.
Yes.
But getting all of the angles.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So formal dances, I mean, just also, I think, like, I like to use, and this is less about photo video, but more about flow and timeline, is just like when you're structuring grand entrance, formal dances, like we're thinking about guiding the guest experience as well. So like, is the grand entrance the way that we get guests from this area to that area? Is the first dance how we get them from the dinner area back over into the dance floor? Like, how are we sort of guiding things? And that's going to make sure that the guest experience feels really organic as well, and not just like choppy, you've seen that before where it's like, or it takes forever to get people from 150 people from one space to another. So kind of think about how you're structuring those things, and not just for photo purposes, but also like, does this make sense from a guest experience perspective?
And I think too, just remembering a lot of the stuff that we're talking about will flow, and a lot of these details can be kind of figured out during the rehearsal too, is when you when things start to click of like, oh, that's why Ali suggested that we do grand entrance and then this and then this. Oh, okay, now I see it. That makes way more sense. It's say 15 minutes for whatever it is.
And that's usually what I'm thinking about when I'm designing a timeline. Like, unless someone has a very specific vision, I'm like, okay, where can I save time to maximize party, dance time at the end? Or, how can I, like, herding a bunch of drunk cats, not just cats, drunk cats from one space to another takes a long time. And unless you want me screaming at all of your aunts and uncles, we want to make sure that that's all designed well. But I think that's just like another piece, but definitely from a photo video perspective.
100%. The next little section I think we had was table photos. Dun, dun, dun.
The bane of every photo video planner's existence.
I can speak for every photographer and every videographer in the world. On behalf of all photo and video teams, we don't like table photos.
Okay, what's a table photo? Let's take
table photos.
Yeah.
You, the couple, they walk around to tables number 1 through 13.
Dining tables.
During the reception.
Yep.
And you go around and you say hi to everybody at the table and you say, quick, we're going to take a little photo.
Yep.
You go ahead and snap the photo, and ideally you immediately move on to the next one.
And it sounds simple in theory.
Sounds so simple.
It sounds actually like a good idea.
Yeah.
On paper.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Like, oh, I go and say hi to my guests and take a little photo.
Sounds great.
No.
All of those fucking people want to talk to you.
Yeah.
They want to engage because this is the first time that you've gone up to them one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's very bad.
From a time perspective, it's very bad.
That's very bad. Yes, 100%.
Also, like, the photo is not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. It's like an awkward grouping of people.
Awkward half circle.
Half circle. Everyone's dirty dishes are all over the table.
You don't know where to stand sometimes.
No, it's never good. When you think about, like, at the beginning of the episode where I said, like, this is what your album is going to be or your highlight video or whatever, like, trust me when I tell you, you're not going to actually put those in your album.
You're not.
They're going to be ugly. And, like, your Aunt Karen doesn't want this weird photo where she happened to be sat next to, like, your
all
college
these other
friends.
people. Yeah, all these other people. No one's going to want that photo. I would never want that photo. No.
But what's a good alternative?
Okay, some alternatives. I would say for at least like the Asian, a lot of the Asian weddings will have when guests walk into the reception area, the couple is there at the entrance, and it's like a photo. Legit moment. Like they are standing
little
there.
Photo op.
They're greeting everyone that's coming in. It's a fun experience, music, or it's like an actual photo booth. One company that does an amazing job at this is the Lounge Booth.
Yep.
Love the Lounge Booth. Their setups and energy is great. So something like that would be good.
Yeah.
Or having the help of a planner, planner's assistants, a DJ, or an MC. Tell the DJ,
move it along.
We have 2 songs.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm the DJ right now. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to Kyle and Stephanie's wedding. What we're going to do right now, it's going to be super fun, super interactive. We're going to play 2 banger songs right now. But at the end of the 2 bangers, we're done with table photos. Yeah. Once I hit start on this next song, we're going to go through one table and we're going to fly through the next one. We're going to make it fun. We're going to make it quick. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Play and then cue. I play the song. Yeah. The couple's walking down. We take the photo. We're dancing. We're having a good time. Cheese, quick. And the music is loud. Yeah. That way people can't talk.
Yep.
Because as soon as people talking, it's like, oh, I gotta go. No, yeah.
You have to have a bouncer. Like, I'll play bouncer to like help, and I'll get like the next table on deck, like ready to roll.
Or the second photographer. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Wedding party.
Someone other than the photographer.
It is a cultural thing. A lot of Asian weddings too. Like that is where the couple will get like their red envelopes and things. I've seen that. So there's a lot.
Or Hennessy.
And shots of Hennessy. Yes, that's a big thing too. So there is lots of reasons, but I do think another like way that I've seen. So traditionally, if you think about like old Catholic weddings and stuff, it's called a receiving line, where basically as they leave the church, the couple is there like kind of saying thank you and whatever. Again, we run into the issue of people want to talk. Yes. They want to tell you how beautiful you look. They want to bring up, advice, X, Y, and Z. Yes.
And say how gorgeous you are. Yeah, all the things.
I like the loud music idea. Another thing that I've seen that has worked well, and this isn't necessarily for photo, but if you do feel the need to like say hello to every guest, which is totally reasonable, right? Like you want to pay them respect for coming to your day. I had a couple position themselves at the beginning of the buffet, and they handed out the buffet plates.
Genius.
And so people did not stand and talk because they were hungry. Yes. They wanted to get their food.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah. So they were able to just say hello, thank you so much for coming, hand them their plate, and it was kind of like a nice moment. Again, this is not this is not a photo moment.
No, it's not.
But it was a nice alternative to like a table photo or feeling like we have to wander around. Yep. And also, you can just wander around and say hi to your guests without having photos.
But honestly, though, for time's sake, something I just thought about, the best time for your photo and video team to not be hangry and upset at you is for you to just go do your table.
Say hi. Visits.
Go say your visits. We need to eat.
That's also another very important piece here is that your vendors do need a break. They do need to eat. Typically, a vendor meal is customary. And the only time for them to do that is also while you're eating. Yes. So keeping in mind your DJ, your photo, video, planner, everybody probably needs, we take as short amount of time as possible, stuff food down our throats, but that might be that only 20-minute window that would also be when when you're doing table photos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a thing.
I put it in our contracts too. If you contract us for 8 hours, you have to give us 30 minutes to eat.
Yeah.
Now, is 30 minutes always given? No,
but
unfortunately
at least
not.
you put it
It's
in there
not.
to
I put it in there just because it's like, hey, I know intentions are all good, but come actual wedding day, you don't know what you don't know as the couple.
Yeah, of course.
And we know, like, I have to put this in the contract, because if I don't put this in the contract, you're not even gonna think.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna think about when I'm supposed to be eating.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you want to have your footage, please feed me.
Yeah.
Please. At some
Feed
point in time.
everybody.
Yeah,
It's just a kind thing
Yeah,
to do.
it's
But
just
yeah,
a nice thing.
it is an afterthought. People don't
Yeah.
consider that at all, for
But
sure.
yeah, if you're
So,
doing table photos, I would say just let the photo video team just go eat. Yeah.
just visit.
Yeah.
You don't need photos.
You
at each
really,
table.
honestly, you really don't though. You really don't. Anyway, I think we hit the nail on the coffin on that one.
Yeah.
Table photos suck. The next two more topics.
Okay.
The next one is toasts.
Okay.
Toasts should be toasts and not speeches.
Yes.
Timing wise, I know sometimes it can be hard, especially for the parents, to like force them. You only have 3 to 5 minutes, because if mommy and daddy paid for everything, if 8 minutes go by, you ain't saying a damn thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, of course.
So I would say, but like best man or maid of honor or anyone that's not paying for the wedding, please put a time limit on
Yeah,
them. And
yeah.
I don't know how long. I'm trying to think of like how long. 12-point font, right? 1-inch margins.
Yeah.
Is it 1 page, a page and a half, or 2 pages?
I mean, have them like realistically though, because this does come up a lot, especially we'll do like a father of the bride toast before dinner starts, right? And like I talk to them, I'm like, how long do you think, like, is your dad very verbose?
yeah.
Like, is he going to go on? Oh, it'll be 5 minutes. I told him, blah, blah, blah. And like, no joke, those things can be 15, 20 minutes sometimes. And
Yep.
now we're not only talking about it being a little bit boring and
People
long
are
for your
hungry.
videographer, but people are hungry. Catering's pissed because they can't start serving the food and everything's waiting on it. And now their steaks are going to be cold or whatever.
Your photo video team's also going to be upset too, because typically that is eating, no pun intended, into my eating time.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, oh, well, dad went for 15, 20 minutes and he was only supposed to go for 5. Instead of me eating for 30 minutes, I have 15 minutes to wolf everything down.
Yeah.
And then I have to go back to work and be happy because now we have another speech by the maid of honor
Yeah.
and the best man in
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Shit's tough, you know? So like,
Totally.
Yeah.
And it is like the way you kind of schedule it. I usually say I don't like to do more than 2, max 3 in a row, because it just gets really long
Yeah.
and boring. So like, do you do a couple before dinner and a couple after dinner
Yeah.
or something like that? But from a photo video perspective, yes, let's try to keep it short. Let's try to keep it snappy. Let's position the toasters next to the couple.
Yes.
So ideally, they're like the toaster's not on the dance floor, and then like the sweetheart table is on the opposite side. That
Yep.
might seem logical from a like real life perspective, right? Like I'm looking at them, everyone can see them, they're all looking around. But for photo video purposes, it looks so much better if you're all in one frame.
Yes. And if you tell, either have a mic stand or just tell whoever's giving a speech of like,
Don't wander.
don't wander around, because that for video that makes it hard, because like we have to get your reaction shot or a frame of just you three in
Yep.
general,
Yep.
and then we have to get a really, really tight shot from far away of one person. If one person is staying there, it's easy.
Yep.
As soon as someone starts walking around, whenever you look at the footage on the raw wedding, you're gonna see that camera fucking flying everywhere,
Yeah.
because someone can't make up their mind of where the hell they're gonna be talking at.
That's a
So,
good one. Mic stand's good. And that also makes me think of a few weddings where I've experienced, maybe it was in a backyard or it was like later in the evening and they weren't really thinking about lighting.
Yep.
I actually had one.
That's right.
Oh my God. I'm probably in all of their like toast video because the dad could not fucking see his like, notes. And so he's like, he made me stand there with my like cell phone flashlight over it because he legit couldn't see. And so like there really was no other option. This was in a backyard. And it was so awkward though, because for sure it's just me like,
Yeah.
like in the back of all of their videos.
It is what it is.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. But yeah, the mic stand I think is a really good tip. And just thinking about framing, it's another really good reason to do a sweetheart table versus like sitting among your guests because
Yes.
it's kind of hard. It looks a little sloppy. Not a huge huge, like, again, is this the framed photo you're going to have on your wall in your hallway? Probably not.
Yeah.
But the toast photos are probably going to make it in your album. They're probably going to make it in the highlight video.
Yeah.
So you do want it to be visually make sense.
Yeah. And I think too, for like the production side of videography, even I bring a light to help like light whoever's speaking, but sometimes if the person is walking around, they go out of the light.
Of course, yeah.
So then it's dark wherever they're talking, and the video just is kind of just messed up at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the people that are speaking and they're being recorded, I'm sure that they're going to want the video too.
Yeah.
And you should remind them of like, hey, if you're going to be in this video,
Yeah.
you're going to be recorded, please stay in one spot, you know, and please keep it to a certain amount of time. You know, so.
Oh, and I think that just made me think, this is like kind of random, but whether it's your vows during the ceremony or if you're giving a toast or whatever, like write it down or have it on something nice. Like I think it looks really crappy when someone's looking at a cell phone, or if it's like a shitty like piece of printer paper that they've clearly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it looks so much nicer if it's like written on something kind of nice. That's like really granular, but I just always, it bugs me so much, especially when it's the vows on a cell phone. I think it looks like shit.
Yeah. And I sometimes couples will get like halfway there. They ordered really nice vow books.
Yeah.
And then they end up putting the phone in the vow book like this. And I'm like, I can tell. We can all tell.
Yes.
Okay?
Or what your officiant is holding too. Like get a nice folder, like a portfolio. Because it really, it makes such a huge difference.
100%.
That's so
100%.
funny.
I would say like if you have shitty handwriting,
Yeah.
I mean, you can ask your photo video team of like, hey, would you mind writing this down? Or asking a bridesmaids or a groomsman or someone, can you please just write these down? Don't fuck with my letter, but don't fuck with my vows. But you know, please write them down. I can't read my own handwriting, basically.
Yeah, these are the kinds of details. 100%. Honestly, though, they make a difference later when you're like looking at stuff. But
and write it down like a week before the wedding.
Oh my God. Literally 2 weeks ago, I had a bride. We had to push back the first look like 20 minutes because she was still writing her vows in the vow book. Same thing. She was like transferring it from her cell phone into her vow book. And she's like, I should have done this before. I'm like, yeah, you should have.
You should have. Yes,
but it's okay. We're here now. So finish it up.
Yeah. Ain't nothing we can do about it, you know? So in the meantime, I'm not going to record you actually writing down your vows. Might as well. I might as well make the most of it. Yeah. Okay, and then the last part is the bane of our existence. Cake cutting.
Cake cutting! No, the bane of our existence is table photos.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, fuck the table photos.
We do talk a lot of shit on cake cuttings on this podcast. So, yes.
Lean into it. Oh, Siri got mad at me right now. She said, you need to calm down on the table, on the cake cutting.
Cussing about cake cutting.
Real.
Okay, yes. So I think our general opinion is if you're going to do a cake cutting, lean in, make it fun, make it cute,
100%.
You know, get into it. If you're going to be awkward and just like, then don't do it at all.
Yeah.
It's just silly and it's just weird.
Why do you want photos of you cutting a cake?
Do you want photos of cutting cake? But I will say, okay, now this is just so let's put our personal feelings to the side for a moment. If you're going to do a cake cutting, which still a majority of people like to do, I like to use it as a transition period. I don't like to break into dancing for it. Nobody cares about it, right? Maybe your mom, maybe a couple people want to take a photo and you want to have that later for your album, but like don't break into dancing with 150 guests to cut your cake. Use it as a transition to get people from dinner area to the dance floor
100%.
And while people are moving, cut the cake. Or combine it with a thank you toast from the couple where you're cutting the cake and doing something. Use it as a tool to move the timeline along, not necessarily to like break into it and have this whole moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, love it. I will calm down on the cake cutting. I think I don't think we're ever going to have a cake vendor.
We are. I actually thought about it earlier.
I was like, how are they going to be on here knowing how much shit?
They're going to have to defend themselves.
They really are.
They're going to have to defend their role in this industry.
My only mindset, just to stay positive, is going to be, this is for the couple that really loves cake cutting. now I can be excited about it. Because if you want it, then I'm for it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
and
yes.
I have seen them
Yes.
be
Yeah.
too.
And I'm sure I think I have, at least we've had a few podcasts. We've almost been recording for an entire year.
I know, which is crazy.
But I'm sure that I've had couples that have listened to this podcast and they know how much I don't like them if they're not excited about it, and yet they still do it and they're not excited about it.
That's true. So they're not listening to us, is what you're saying.
I mean, at least those couples are
they're not paying attention.
Ask if those moments made it into the highlight film.
No, not if you're not cute.
No.
Not if you're not into it.
Absolutely not.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it in your raw wedding videos. I'll still be nice.
It can be a moment if you make it a moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the case
just
with
have fun with it. Yeah.
And that's the case with all of those kinds of traditions. And I think probably a good way to like wrap up this episode is
Yes.
like whatever you are wanting to include throughout your day, from an organic guest perspective and from a photo video perspective, like your enthusiasm will transfer
Yes.
to your guests. It will transfer into the video. It will transfer into your album later on.
It'll transfer into your vendors too.
It'll transfer into your vendors. It will
100%.
the whole vibe of the day. And so where you put your energy and your enthusiasm will end up shining.
We'll back you up 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds good. That was a long episode.
It was. We had a lot to say.
Yeah, but I definitely know that is going to be super helpful for you, the people out there. The people. I know it's going to be.
We love you, people.
Yes, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening in. And
see you next Tuesday.
peace.